Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for checking out this episode. Today, I'm bringing you my picks for must-read poker blogs for low-limit players. This was actually a super difficult list to put together because there's just so many great poker blogs out there. So in order to whittle it down to a list that was a little more manageable for me, I decided to focus only on those blogs that were talking about improving your game in some way, strategy, things like that, and leaving off those blogs that were more focused on the kind of day-to-day grind of a low-limit player. I think I'll save those for a future episode. So let's get to it. Here's my picks in no particular order. First up is a great blog called Strategy in Action, and it's written by a guy named Zach Shaw. Over the course of about the last year and a half or so, Zach has put up 13 posts chronicling the way the self-proclaimed recreational grinder is utilizing the resources of the Red Chip Poker training site to build a bankroll and learn to consistently beat 1-2 no limit. In each post, Zach focuses on some fundamental aspect of poker. It might be SPR, bet sizing, player types, aggression, tilt, whatever. And he gives examples of how he's used and sometimes misused these concepts in game, and more importantly, describes how he's intensely studying off the felt. He's also always sure to include links to all the Red Chip resources he's using so his readers can create a plan of study for themselves. It's been super cool and inspiring to watch Zach's game kind of improve and grow over the last year or so, and I find myself frequently using Zach's recommendations in my own study. You can find Zach's blog on the Red Chip Poker site. Red Chip is a membership site, but you don't need a membership to access the blog. You'll find a link to Zach's Strategy in Action blog in the description below. Next up is the Just Hands Poker blog. This blog, more than any other, has had a significant impact on how I study and specifically how I approach analyzing individual hand histories. You might already be familiar with Jack and Zach from their Just Hands Poker podcast, which I can't recommend enough. But if you've only listened to their show and you've never checked out their blog, you're seriously missing out. In each post, Zach or Jack, they take a hand that they discussed on the podcast and analyze it intensely, breaking it down street by street, closely analyzing ranges, bet sizing, player types, alternative lines, really anything that will help them figure out the most optimal action in any given situation. As I try to improve my off-table hand analysis, I find myself constantly referencing Just Hands' website, both as a source of information for how to better analyze my hands, but also as just a source of inspiration to help push me to try and achieve a similar level of detailed analysis. I am still a long way off from that, but it's nice to have a reliable source of information to see how that's done. Next up is easily one of my favorite blogs, and one I think every poker player should be reading regardless of what stakes they play. The blog is called Out of Position, and it's written by a guy who simply goes by the name Persuadio. Persuadio's blog covers a ton of ground. On his site, you'll find things like profiles of up-and-coming players like Christian Soto, Jeff Boski, posts that discuss the important issues going on in the poker community, things like how Chris Ferguson was treated at the World Series of Poker. You'll find trip reports of Persuadio's adventures out to places like Vegas and Atlantic City. In fact, he recently posted a 3-part series on his attendance at the Solve for Why Academy that was really great. There are also posts about his life as a pro poker player and coach, and of course, posts about strategy. What makes Persuadio's blog so different from all the other blogs out there, and really from all poker writing in general, is just the quality and just kind of simple beauty of his writing. Reading Persuadio's blog, you get the feeling that his writing would stand out in any field regardless of the subject matter, and that we're just really lucky as a community that Persuadio's decided to focus his writing on poker. I'm sure you can tell how much I love this blog, and if you're not already familiar with it, I suggest you head over and check it out. You'll find links to Persuadio's blog and all the other blogs that I've mentioned in the description below. But before I go, I want to mention one more blog. I debated whether or not I should include this blog on the list because I've already mentioned it so many times in my own vlog, but it's given me so much value and is so well done. I would just hate for somebody who's looking for great poker content to miss out on this because I didn't mention it. Those of you who watch my vlog already know who I'm talking about. I'm talking about Mark Warner and his blog over at exceptionalpoker.com. I know a lot of you have already taken my recommendation up and checked out his blog, but if you haven't yet, I would head over and take a look. It's pretty awesome. So those are my picks. If you disagree or have a favorite that I didn't mention, leave it in the comments. Maybe I'll include your pick in a future episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys in the comments. Later.